What's up, YouTube? Bloodspawn here. Finally getting around to making my Monster Mania 28 convention recap video. It was the weekend, last weekend, August 15th through the 17th in Cherry Hill, New Jersey at the Crown Plaza, like always. Was not the best one by far. This one definitely would probably be a thumbs down for me. Personally, which I kind of already had this in mind because my top three people that I wanted to meet desperately, Kenneth Johnson from The Shield and Dexter and Bates Motel, James Remar from Dexter, and Robert Patrick from True Blood and Terminator 2. All three canceling kind of ruined it for me. There was also no VIPs or big names that would warrant a VIP. There was a price increase this time, so the weekend passes were $60 instead of $50. So increasing prices for not as good convention as normal. That's kind of weird. Also, the autograph prices were a lot higher. Almost everyone was $30-40 or higher. Very few people were charging less than that, except for the Return of the Living Dead people. 2025 was pretty good. Also, 75% of the guests that I met and that I heard of other people meeting were charging for photos at the table. So that is not supposed to happen, but seems to be the norm now. The parking lot, when I arrived there, half of it, or a good chunk of it, was blocked off, and parking's always an issue there. So all of a sudden the hotel started wanting to be dicks about how much parking spots we had. I'm not sure, just the whole thing in general. I didn't go to any of the Q&As. I wasn't even really interested in any, but maybe one or two, and just decided to not do that. A lot of repeat guests. That kind of seems to be the norm with the last two shows and the show that they're currently working on for October. A lot of repeat people that have been here 2-3 cons ago. You know, they're not bringing back people from 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And, you know, it just seems to be just rotation of the same people. So, not a good one for me. But anyway, got the pamphlet. Again, they've skimped out on this as well. It's just like a one-page thingy. All the people, film events, and the back promoting the next show. So, got that to go on my binder. And we'll just jump right into it because, like I said, not a lot to talk about, especially in the good wise. There was a lot smaller crowds. That's a good thing for the people like me that don't want to wait in line very long, but that kind of means that you didn't do well putting together the people or something like that, because for some reason just the crowds were not there. The layout's always awesome, so you know, great job with laying out the convention the same way you lay it out every time. But it works and it flows well, so awesome. The costume contest ran well again, liking that. And that's about it. So we'll jump right into first person meeting. Jeff Kober, Walking Dead, a ton of other stuff. I can't remember the old movie with him and Lou Diamond Phillips. Used to scare the crap out of me when I was little. Something Power or something. I can't remember. But anyway, that's a bad movie. He was actually the cheapest out of the Walking Dead people, which is surprising because the other 4, I think, people Walking Dead, you could add up all the movies and shows they've been up, and you still wouldn't equal what Jeff Kober is. So that definitely the bigger, most accomplished actor or actress that was there was charging the least. Also did free photos with the purchase of an autograph. It was really nice to me and my son. So here is a picture of me and Jeff Kober. Picture with my son and Jeff Kober. The Walking Dead poster. And his actual autograph on the poster. Okay, next up was Josh McDermott. He was charging a little bit more than Jeff Kober, but was also giving free photos, so I'm always willing to do that. He was charging $40 for both. He was really nice, really talkative, pretty cool guy. Here's a picture of me and Josh, my son and Josh, the Walking Dead poster, and his autograph on the poster. Okay, next up is Lawrence Gilmore Jr. He plays Bob the alcoholic on Walking Dead. $60, $40 for the autograph, and $20 to take a picture with him, even if you bought an autograph. So only because it's another name on my poster did I get it, but it's just getting out of hand. Like, I don't know this guy. He's been in a couple other things, but is ridiculous amount to pay for somebody just because The Walking Dead's a great show and famous. So I did do it. He was really nice. I'm not blaming him. But just too much money to pay. Here's a picture of me and Bob, my son with him, the Walking Dead poster, and his autograph. Next up, Denise Crosby, really nice lady. She was $40 for both the combo autograph and photo, so not bad at all. Being Pet Sematary, Star Trek Next Generation, she's also a pretty accomplished actress. Really awesome, really nice lady. She had these pins on her table that said "I love Dexter," and they didn't see any price or anything, so I just happened to ask her, was she a fan of Dexter? And she's like, oh yeah, and we got to talking, and I asked her what she thought about Dexter's finale. She liked it. I told her I didn't like it, and then she gave me her thoughts on why she did like it and stuff, and it was pretty compelling. I think I actually changed my mind, and I did like the entire ending, so it was awesome. And then she gave a pen for free, so here's an I Love Dexter pen, and I wore it most of the weekend. So awesome. Got that from Denise Crosby. So really nice lady again. Here's a picture of me and her. My son with her. The Walking Dead poster. And her autograph. Okay, next up is The Last Walking Dead, Alanna Masterson. She was really nice. She was also $60 though. So again, never been in anything else as far as I know, but hot chick in Walking Dead, so she's gonna get her money. So $60. She was really nice though. It's my son's new crush. It was pretty funny. After we got done meeting her, we're walking away, and he was like, that was so worth it. And I was like, no, it really wasn't. But, oh, what can you do? We got to get her. But she was real nice, real smiley, was taking, like, selfies with people and stuff all weekend. So she, I think, had a good time. But here's a picture of me and Alanna. My son with her. The Walking Dead poster. And her autograph. Next up, Josh Stewart from The Collector, also in Dark Knight Rises, my son found out. Really nice he was. He had an agent, and this is only, I think, the second, maybe third. I really think it's the second time that I've ever been charged to take separate pictures. Sometimes I don't really ask. So I just, there's a couple photos out there where it's me, my son, and the celebrity, just because I don't feel like asking, or I'm out of my element, like at Comic-Con or something. So, but I literally, he was charging, I believe it was 30 plus 10 to take a photo with him. Okay, so I'm going to do that. But can I take, will it be a problem if me and my son take separate photos with Josh? And she's like, yeah, that'd be an extra $10. And I was like, Okay. If I didn't know him from The Collector and Dark Knight Rises, so I had to go ahead and do it, so I did. But just again, he was really nice. He gave us a little pamphlet on his new movie called The Hunted, which it says will do to the woods what Jaws did to the ocean. It's from the producers of The Collector and Collection, so we'll definitely be looking for that in September when it comes out. But here is a picture of me with Josh, son with him. The Collector poster that he signed. A zoomed in picture of his autograph on it. Okay, next up, Danielle Bissotti. She's been in Insidious 2. She played the ghostly mom, and she was also in Curse of Chucky. She played the lesbian sister, I believe. Really, really nice. Really seemed like she had a good time. She was joking with everybody. When I was in line to meet her, I was up next. She was right beside me taking a picture with the guy who was in front of me. And as she's walking away from him, she looked over her shoulder at me and she was like, "These stripes are really working. I really like this." And she was talking about the way her outfit looked on herself. So it was pretty funny. She was really nice to me and my son. Both talked. Insidious, Crush of Chucky. I told her my son hadn't watched it until the night before the convention and didn't even know she was there. So that was pretty cool for him to be able to meet somebody he literally just found out about. So here's a picture of me and her, and my son and her, and the Curse of Chucky poster, and her autograph and quote. All right, next up, Katherine Isabelle. So glad she made it back to Monster Mania, but she was Kenny Johnson's replacement, so I much would have rather have met Kenny Johnson for the first time than Katherine Isabelle for the second. But again, she is amazing, really, really nice. She did up her price. I'm not sure if it's because, American Mary came out and was pretty big in the horror genre. She's also been on several TV shows like Being Human, Hannibal on season 2. So I think she's starting to blow up a little bit. So her price, last time I met her last year, it was $20 for an autograph and a photo with her. This time she was $30 for an auto and was charging for a photo. But she's just so amazingly nice, and that you just almost have to. So I did not get her on 2 items, which I planned on. So I only got her on 1, which was my American Mary poster. We talked about that. I told her that, when I first met her, I was getting on Freddy vs. Jason and Ginger Snaps and didn't even know about this movie, and she turned me on to it, and I'm so glad she did. And she's like, "Oh, you really liked it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So really, really awesome to chat with her about American Mary. So here's a picture of me and her. My American Mary poster. Shout out to Jeremy Daniels for getting me the Saska twins on that. Really appreciate that, man. And Katherine Isabelle's, who played Mary, autograph on that poster. Okay, next up is Mads Mikkelsen, plays Hannibal on the TV show Hannibal. His price was ridiculous, straight out. I'm not gonna lie. I know he's the main character and stuff. He's been in some other stuff I didn't know of until other people were telling me. I thought this was his first gig, but he's been like Casino Royale and a few other little things. Probably some a lot in foreign. But he was charging $50 for an autograph and $30 to take a picture with him. So there was no way in hell I was paying $80. But I just love the Hannibal poster that I picked out so much. So I was like, I gotta get it signed. So that's why I was this late in the game when I decided to get him, because I was debating on not getting him and maybe getting 2 other people that I didn't end up getting. So I think I'm still happy with what I chose because he was really, really nice, really, really awesome. We were all in there and lined up. He was in his own room with seating in it, and we were like 3 or 4 rows back, and he had been going for like 4 or 5 hours without a break or nothing. He's like, the security guy's like, hey guys, we're gonna take a break real quick. Hasn't stopped once. A little 5 minute break. He wants to go out and smoke, get a drink, come right back in. We'll get right back into it. Everybody's like, all right, cool, Well, then Mads himself wanted to reiterate, hey guys, thanks a lot. Sorry about this. I'm going to run right out back, smoke, and come right back in. 2 minutes. 2 minutes stops. 2 minutes. And it was like he didn't have to do that. And he came right back in. Hey, guys, thanks everybody for waiting. Let's get back to it. And like just sat back down and started signing. So he was really, really nice. But here is the picture of him signing my poster. You were allowed to take pictures of him signing your items, just not with him or posed with him. And here is a picture of the actual poster after he signed it. All right, the next few actually were not for me, but my buddy Robert Mero, what's up, Rob, sent me a poster and paid for the whole gig and everything for me to meet these people. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got to. So really, really happy with that, especially because of the first one I'm going to talk about. But he sent me a Night of the Living Dead full-size poster to get I believe it was 5 people on. So first up that I'll talk about is James Karen. He was also in Poltergeist. Amazing guy. I mean, he's like, I think 90-something years old. And was standing up the whole time, taking pictures. He'd sit down, sign your stuff, stand up, walk over to the corner, take a picture with you, and, nice right in the corner so you got a backdrop and everything. He was really, really nice, talkative, joking, amazing, amazing guy. I'm so glad that I got to meet him because of Rob. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have met him. I was thinking about getting him on Poltergeist, but I know now that I wouldn't have ended up having the money to do that. So he asked me where I was from. I said Delaware. He mentioned that he comes here several times, Rehoboth Beach, which is like maybe 20 minutes from here. He visits several times. He's also been in a couple plays up in Wilmington, which is about 30 or 40 minutes from here, which I used to live there. So it was just cool that like James Karen visits my state all the time. So I believe he's probably Jersey or PA or something where he lives. But here's a picture of me and James Karen. And a picture of him signing Robert's poster. Next up is Lynette Quigley. Been in a ton of horror movies. She was really, really nice. Really, like, just open. Like, when she gives you a hug, she's squeezing and everything. Really nice lady. Here is a picture of me and her. Her signing Robert's poster. Next one we got is Beverly Randolph. She was really, really nice. Just sweet, like almost like a Southern belle almost. Like she was dressed in like you see in the picture, but she was really nice. And I explained, as I did with everyone, that this is not my poster. My buddy from California sent this to me to get signed. And she was like, what's his name? And I was like, Robert Romero. And she's like, I know him. He's on my Facebook. So pretty cool moment for Rob, which I've explained to him that Beverly Randolph literally knew him by name and everything and remembered him. So that was pretty awesome. But here is a picture of her actually holding up and showing off the poster. Next one is Alan Troutman or Toutman. He played Tarman in Night of the Living Dead. Really, really nice guy. Didn't talk to him for too much, but he was nice and seemed like, he enjoyed being at the con and stuff, which is always a good thing. You can tell when the guys aren't enjoying themselves and when they really are. And I think that's an overall thing for all of the Night of the Living Dead people. There was definitely a lot of love for that movie, which is not, Night of the Living Dead or huge, but it's big enough that it has a following. So here's a picture of Alan signing the poster. The last one, which I don't have any photos for, I screwed this one up for you, Rob, and I apologize already. Ghul Gallagher, he also signed the poster. He was really nice. He was wearing like an alligator cowboy hat, was putting it on people when he was taking pictures with them. Really nice, really talkative, but I did not get a picture with him, but he was pretty cool to meet. All right, next up, my son met a couple people. Didn't get autographs from them, but he met a wrestler, Brodus Clay, something like that. He knew him. I didn't. There was a couple other wrestlers there that I did know. Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but I did not get their autographs. I'm not a huge wrestling fan anymore. Would have been cool to get them, which I did end up pulling one off, but I did not meet them. I did run into Brutus several times. I think I was in the elevator with him once. But here's a picture of my son and Brodus Clay. And he also wanted to meet Philip Friedman, which I've met before, but he didn't. He plays the old woman, I guess, in the wedding dress in Insidious, but he's really a man. Creepy character. Really nice guy, though. My son was talking to him for a while and took a photo with him. So here's that photo. Next up, a little story. I actually got paid to do a green screen background photo with somebody in my pinhead costume. I was just dressed up, walking around, taking pictures with people and stuff like that. And I happened to go into one of their little side vendor rooms as soon as you come into the hotel. And this lady stopped and wanted a picture with me, and we took one. And then this guy approached me and was wanting me to do the green screen with the same girl I just took a photo with, and they were paying for it all and everything because the green screens are like professional photo. I've posted one on Facebook before, but so they put a green backdrop and put us in some room, and then there was this lady who was also with us, but I kind of thought I knew her. So we took a picture, and the girl who wanted the picture, who paid for the picture, was holding the cube from Hellraiser, and I was trying to get it, and the other girl was kind of like they were, trying to hold it away from me. It ended up pretty awesome. Come to find out, the girl who was in the picture with us, who was working behind the green screen, is Brittany Shannon, which is a porn star. So once I found that out and found out they had two at their booth, I did take two pictures with two different porn stars. One's Brittany Shannon, but this is my pinhead costume, so it's not me, but it is me behind the costume. So here is that picture with Brittany Shannon. The next one is a picture with the other one that was working behind the booth, which was Amy Schuyler. So here's that picture. And to keep going on the pinhead thing, to added a bunch of I Am Pain photos to my Facebook. It's a Facebook album I have of me dressed up as Pinhead. Anytime I take pictures with celebrities, fans, con goers, whatever you want to call them, in my costume, I add them to this. So here is several of the pictures of me as Pinhead from the con. All right, and the last thing is the Yorkie auction on Sunday. I usually always go. I never have any real money to do it, though, so hopefully I'll get around to being able to do that, because you can get really awesome deals there. I only had like $30 in my pocket, so didn't think I was going to be able to get anything. I was sitting with my buddy Keith, which I've traded with and met up with several times at Monster Mania. A really good friend of mine, so we always go to the Yorkie auction. So we're sitting there, and he's buying up Storm stuff. So I figured, hey, man, I'm not going to win anything. But at the end, if you want to sell a couple DVDs or something like that, I'll buy some off you. So he ended up winning a ton of stuff. Decided that he basically only wanted the autographs out of it. So he pretty much was like, hey, that's all. You got a couple autographs the last couple weeks or couple videos I watched that I'd be interested in. So if you want to work out a trade, you can just go ahead and take the whole box of stuff. And I was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So I came on with a box of stuff. The figures I can't show, but there was a figure of Julie Benz's character from Angel, and it was already open and stuff, so I gave that to one of the kids. And the other one was a Gears of War pop head, like it was weird, no head, but it was like had the blood squirting out everywhere and stuff. Figure, gave that to my son. But we ended up with two t-shirts. which this one is awesome because I love this movie. It is Big Trouble in Little China. The other poster, it's got some skulls on it. Then a ton of DVDs. Alright, we have Midnight Horror Collection, which is 6 movies. Mr. Hell, clown movie. Demon Wind. The Edge. Timeline. No Clowning Around, which is Rob Dimension's movie. Trauma Dance, The Best of Trauma Dance Film Festival Volume 3. Teen Suicide. Serpico. Transylvania 5000, something like that. I don't know. Unearthing. Jackass the Movie. 7 Doors of Death. Corpse's Bride. Snatch. Secrets of the Clown. Dead Clowns. It. Bad Movie Police. The Best of Trauma Dance Film Festival Volume 2. The Best of Trauma Film Festival Volume 1. Garden of the Dead Zombie Collection. Zombiegeddon. Tales from the Dark Side 11-disc complete series. That's a big, huge thing. And Resident Evil Extinction. And also, we had a signed DVD in there. They couldn't make it out who it was. But this is Mr. Hush. And that's where the one signature was. But the actual guy who plays Mr. Hush was at the Yorkie Auction too. So he signed it right on as they were auctioning it off. He's like, I'll go ahead and sign it right now. So that was pretty cool. So Keith got to meet him. He was right in front of us. But I got the DVD. So dual signed DVD at the Yorkie Auction. That was awesome. And the last thing that was in there was a 8x10 that he donated for just the barbecue beefcake. That's the pre-signature. Then he signed it here and donated it to the Yorkie Auction to be auctioned off. So ended up getting a old school wrestler out of the deal anyway, and it was for free. So really awesome stuff. Yorkie Auction is kind of like the hidden gem of the con. Great deals there. You can walk away with cool stuff, autographs, DVDs, shirts, toys, all kinds of stuff. So I tried to go to it every convention, but like I said, I usually am broke by then. But eventually, I'm gonna hit it to where I purposely have money for the auction. So that's it for the convention. Shout outs to my Monster Mania family: April, Nicole, Brian, John, Russ, Claire, Debbie, Frank, everybody else. Shout outs to Keith Bocci, B-O-C-C-I. You know who you are. My Yorkie Auction / YouTube / Facebook / trade buddy. Also Thomas Golden Jr. Good seeing you again, man. Met him probably about 3 conventions ago, and we just keep running into each other at the cons, so that was awesome. Mike McManus, who I've known for a while but didn't know I knew. He didn't know it was me in my pinhead costume, and I didn't know it was him in any of his. He has multiple costumes. Really awesome guy, nice guy, really awesome costume. So shout out Mike. Rhonda Locatelli, however you pronounce it. It was really nice meeting you, Facebook friend, but we finally met at the convention. Also Terry McNichol, something like that. That was awesome. Didn't know, but she watches my videos. She's watching this one now, hopefully. Good meeting you. Good hanging out with you. Awesome Chinese dinner with the family. So shout out to everyone that goes to these conventions. Even though this one was a thumbs down. Monster Mania is still a thumbs up in my book, and not going anywhere, hopefully, and we'll be able to keep going to these for years to come. So if you haven't gone to a convention and find one in your area, man, it's really, really a good time. Weekend long party, get to meet some celebrities and have stories of your own like this. So, all right, guys, until the next convention, peace.